In 2007, a group of Austrian community radio activists from Linz and Salzburg assisted the Sinazongwe community in the southern province of Zambia to set up their own community radio station as part of cultural exchange and development programs focusing on the Tonga people who live on both sides of the Zambezi River, respectively Lake Kariba. 6 years later, it was time to service the station and install new equipment, a transmitter and antenna to provide coverage for a wider range of transmission even across the lake. In July 2013, after 1 year of preparation, fundraising and crowdfunding, the team, consisting of Peter Kutan, Mario Friedwagner and Markus Dies, started its journey to Lusaka, the capital city of Zambia. Arriving in Lusaka at our partner Panos' headquarters, we found a pickup truck almost completely loaded with our equipment. After a warm welcome by Mrs. Lilian Kiefer, Executive Director of Panos, we had a brief meeting with some staff members of Panos and a nice cup of coffee.
I didn't know what to expect, and when I saw it I was like, wow. It's a great gift for any community, that's really amazing. So.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I should give the thanks further to these two gentlemen, Markus Dies and Mario Friedwagner, who are both involved in the so-called free radio movement in Austria.
Because the travel schedule was so tight, we almost immediately had to carry on to Sinazongwe next morning, hitting the road towards south. Mazabuka, a typical Zambian town, and our first stop. A visit at Mazabuka Community Radio.
We broadcast in 2 languages. English taking 40% and the local language, which is Tonga, 60%. And our programming starts from 06 under normal circumstance to 22. And from 22 we just leave programs, we just program the computer.
And the transmission is running on the automation automatically, okay?
Yeah, I know you understand.
Of course, yeah.
Then heading further south towards the town of Monze. Finally, we reached the narrow road down from the plateau and through the steep escarpments into the Zambezi Valley. As we got closer to the village, we could already receive Zonge FM 105.0 on the air. What a relief! First of all, we immediately wanted to visit the studio at Sinazongwe Primary School, which is right on the way to town. During preparations back in Austria, we got an email saying that the station had been damaged. But in fact, it was still fully operational. Happy but tired from all the traveling, we drove to the guest house on the shore of Lake Kariba to get food, a beer and some sleep before we actually could start work. Every morning, Godfrey Chilumbi, a teacher of Sinazongwe Basic School and the vice secretary of the radio, drove us the 15 minutes to the school where the station is located. Halfway down, we passed Sinazongwe's market, where we usually stopped to do some shopping. Our schedule was pretty tight. While Markus began to repair the studio and transmitter with his assistant and technical trainee Andy Kampamu, Mario had to organize the trainees for their daily workshops and start to teach production techniques and other useful skills.
When you think about an interview with the headmaster, what will you ask him then?
Pupils do you have at this school?
That's a good question.
Where is Bob?
Guys, what are you doing?
What are we doing? We're repairing a microphone.
Okay.
Sure. And Andy is assisting me. Sure. Yeah.
And
yes, let's do that.
It's a felt a sense of ownership. Then we do believe that actually they'll come up in numbers to try and.
Andy.
Hello.
Please tell me, what are you doing here?
No, I'm building the small wires here. After building.
What you hear here is the broadcast, not the studio. The studio comes out of here, from these speakers, yeah? So I can demonstrate it. I press play. Yeah? And if what we mix here in these 6 faders, yeah? It could be like this, for instance, yeah? Is master controlled here. This is the volume of the whole mix.
And then the day came when we had to lower the mast which was set up in 2007 to fit the new antenna and wiring. This was a crucial moment.
Okay, people, gentlemen, all takes time because it has to be.
Before the mast gets lifted up again, everybody involved signs the top of the mast.
Any of these colors and writes his name somewhere on here, okay? Okay. Before we lift it up. Sure. All good, gentlemen. Ladies first. Linda!
Anastasia, do your security that side.
Yeah, please, you care for the security. Watch out for little kids, especially the, yeah. Okay. And then we need some strong guys on the ladder.
How many?
On the ladders, I would say 3 on each ladder.
Hello, guys. 3. Ambola 3.
Perhaps on a long one 4, huh? Okay. Because it's heavier. Yeah. 2 in front and 1 like that. So. Please. Mind the cable. Yeah, under the joint. Okay. Please. Yeah. We're getting there. Slowly. You don't flip it over, okay? Super. Ja, Peter, du willst ran, bitte. Gut, lieber Dosen. Schneiden.
Then Marcus started the new transmitter. Instantly, Zongwe FM was on the air again. Handover of the newly refurbished and upgraded station. Representatives of Chief Sinazongwe, with our partners from Basil VZ Trust, the Zongwe FM Vice Secretary and the headmaster of Sinazongwe Basic School are witnessing this short ceremony and signing the contract of taking over the upgraded Sinazongwe Community Radio station named Zongwe FM.
Everything from now on will be broadcast, you know. Any promise made will be broadcast. So be aware of it. The community will take you to book. But now, please, Marcus.
I want to continue with the technical side now. You might realize that some things have changed. We even painted the studio. We got great support from some working crew. We have now some sort of automation, changed the system in that manner that we can switch over between 2 computers. This provides in the first place safety, because if one computer fails, we have the other one here in the studio.
What is the radius of the transmission messages?
This is difficult to say because it's dependent on the topography.
A computer simulation of the radio coverage in the Gwembe Valley, from Choma in the north to Binga across Lake Kariba in the south.
I should go over the lake, and I'm looking forward to hear the first call from Binga today or tomorrow, whether they can receive it or not.
Okay.
How far?
Now the team and trainees have acquired the knowledge and skills to continue with the upgraded studio on their own.
Community Radio Station 105.0 FM in Ngaziama.
Well done.
Station 105.0 FM. I welcome you to this lovely afternoon where we are mixing things up. We are bringing interviews, we'll be bringing discussions, we'll be bringing music. And then
abana boma pe ndamba kuti mwa susula beni epere abo ga muswiri ha music indene no tulamubikira bene jibweze efumbwa nyimbo na mwandagalendula walomula muhana
Kokutegwa koti mbuli eno botosika ko mamani amo bandita namuna mtisi mabala ama mani ujatikisia mubandi oyo wajifutu na izisoba zimiziteka izitola kusana.
Hello people, you are listening to Sinazongwe Community Radio Station at 105.0 FM with your lovely DJ Windwa Churu, Linda Siamumba, a young lady who carried the clay pot from the original homelands where we were displaced. Yeah, I'm with the headmaster of Sinazongwe Basic School. We want to do some.
Ready for the first field recording mission covering the annual Luwindi ceremonies and festival. Meanwhile, on the Luwindi fairground, the shops and restaurants, bars, mongers and craftsmen have set up their business for the festivities, which follow the traditional ceremonies. On the way to the shrines, escorted by the man blowing niele, the antelope horns. Ahead of the procession are the women, carrying water and beer in clay pots. Arriving at Malende, the sacred burial grounds of the chief's male ancestors. Rhythmic clapping is calling upon and relating to the spirits. Water and beer is being shared with the ancestors. Back to the festival grounds, welcomed by the crowd, the festivities may begin. Eventually, an amplified music band is opening the following party, which will last the whole night. Finally, the day comes when we have to leave. Glad that it all went very well and confident that our friends from Zongwe FM 105.0 will carry on broadcasting. One last time we drive through Sinazongwe town waving goodbye. On the highway up on the plateau again, heading towards Lusaka, safely driven by Peter Mudimba, our driver from Panos. Back in Lusaka, we briefly report and share a review at Panos' head office. We talk about prospects and perspectives, showing some pictures and playing the new Zongwe FM jingles.
Hello, it's Nadia nangu ndimevera Musaga ndokuswirizira ku Sinazongwe Community Radio Station 105.0 FM ngazi ya mana.
The station for the people by the people.
Zongwe FM 105.0 ingazi ya mana.
We had 2 days' time to explore Lusaka, which is quite an interesting and thriving place. Everybody is trying to make a living, like this visually impaired musician. Marcus could not resist to jam with his groovy song.